Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. Let us go ahead and log in. We are starting into the patch 3.2 content today, and we are in search of more scions. Alright, so before we get started, I do want to show you the progress I've been making towards our goal of 230 item level. And as you can see, I am currently at 207 here. I've picked up quite a number of items from running ARF quite a number of times here, Aetherochemical Research Facility, which is what that's also known as. So we've got quite a number of items here. The other thing that I did here is I also joined a link shell for hunts, which is basically a group of players that are able to communicate and let each other know where the different hunt targets are. But this group has effectively done what I needed them to do. So for the time being, I am going to hop out of this, and let us go ahead and get this going. Alphino, Prince, I've been looking all over for you. We've received news regarding Philomin, Hoary Boulder, and Coltonet. Really? Has something happened? No, it's nothing bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seems that once they learned the Scion's good name had been restored, they boarded the next ship bound for Limsa Lominsa. They should be arriving any moment now. It's easy to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? When they work, I mean. And you don't mind being spied on. Quite. But what wonderful news! To think that our reunion is close at hand. A pleasure to see you too, Alphino. Ah, Thancred. And Kryl. What brings the two of you here? Kryl and I have been looking into how we might track down Minfilia. And we may just have found the answer. Prince, when you were fleeing Ul'dah with Minfilia, you said that Hydaelyn spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Well, assuming that is true, and I see no reason to suspect it is not, it seems reasonable to conclude that Hydaelyn commands her to remain behind. Commanded her. That is to say, the Mother Crystal directly interceded to guide in Minfilia. Admittedly, this is all still quite hypothetical, but I propose that such intervention, however subtle, must surely leave some residual trace, a lingering disturbance in the aether, or ripple, if you will. In order to establish the existence of such ripples, of course, we will require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found. The battleground where Prince felled the Ultima weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy. 'Twas there that Hydaelyn intervened to shield him from the magic I invoked. Kryl and I will infiltrate the Caestrum and analyze the aether therein. The two of you, alone? I have a proven knack for subterfuge, and I am confident there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Kryl while the patrols pass. Besides, if you and Prince come along, who will see to Philomin's grand homecoming? When you put it like that, very well, I will trust in your plan. I know not whether this data will yield a means to find Minfilia, but it will at the very least eliminate another avenue of inquiry. Tataru and I will return to the Rising Stones and make preparations for our comrades' returns. Might I impose upon you to meet them at the Lominsan docks? Then I shall see the four of you at the Rising Stones. Safe travels. Alright, let's make our way over to Limsa Lominsa. Now the question is, where is our destination? Oh, actually it's right over here, I just saw it. So for that, let's make our way over to the Conjurer's Guild. Or not the Conjurer's Guild. The Arcanist's Guild. And there they are. Oh, Prince, how have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. Thank the 12. One hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I worried about you all every day. We would have sent word sooner, but the Braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. Tataru found her way to you, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a Hannish vessel. It pained us not being there when you needed us most. But we made the most of it, didn't we, Colton? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn. We did. We would have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust, and with the vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. What do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? Forgive me, I am sure you are doing everything in your power to find her. As Thancred must be. He watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for her safe return, and busy myself in the meantime. For a certainty, there is much and more to be done. The Braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Aye, that's the spirit. To the scions and a long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Well, there you have it. To the Rising Stones.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business, then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you've favored me with so much as a single compliment since we set out. Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me. It is true. But not in the way you think. 15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A Gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Uldar. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed. I feared she would never recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoire, every scions. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
Alright, let us make our way over to Revenant's Toll. It feels good to be home again. To think that everyone is waiting for us, just beyond those doors. Friends and family with whom we have shared so much. Gods help me, but the older I get, the more sentimental I become. Come, let us not keep them waiting. Alright, inside the Rising Stones we go! Eliane! Ephemi! It fills my heart with joy to see you both hale and healthy. And what of Higiri? She is well, though abroad on a mission at present. It just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady. Ah, we could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with stalwart companions. Brings a bloody tear to the eye. To secrete oneself in a ship's hold to secure safe passage to a faraway land. This is a tale we know all too well. When they are well rested, I should like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there is no need to be shy. Pray grant me a moment longer at least. Though I am happy to oblige you, my legs are rather less accommodating. Ultra! What in the seven hells drove my little brother to come to Mordona? Why you, brother. You and the scions, of course. For 1,000 days I trained, and that I might grow as strong as you, and that I might fight alongside you. Yet now that you are here, I sense that you have surpassed me once more. No, do not tell me. You trained with the Hanish, did you not? Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have studied the trials of the braves, and drunk deep of the souls of mine enemies. Glad though I am to be home, I cannot help but think of those who have yet to return. Once we have settled in, I would join the search. Alright, let's speak to Tataru. It's been so long since I've seen them all like this. Too long. 'Twas the chaos born of my foolish ambition which forced them to flee. Though they are returned, there are others yet missing, others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alphino. I know we will. Minfilia, Ida, Papalimo, every last one. And when they walk through those doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, let's grab the Steam Staff. Thancred and Kryl contacted us a short while ago. It would seem that their foray into Castrum Meridianum bore fruit. They asked that we rendezvous with them and Y'shtola in Idleshire, where they will share their findings. Rude though it is to depart without speaking to the guest of honor, I expect she will forgive me if I return with her daughter. Alright, so we are off to Idleshire then. My apologies. I see I am the last to arrive. So what news have you for us? Well, as I postulated, there were indeed what appeared to be the remnants of an unexplained disturbance in the aether at the scene of the Ultima weapon's destruction, a ripple at odds with the presiding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, when I believe Hydaelyn shielded me with the blessing of light. To confirm our findings, we paid a visit to the Silde aqueducts. Though we detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect of a more recent disturbance. Hydaelyn, there is no other explanation. But there is more. When I studied the site where Y'shtola used flow, it appeared that not 2, but 3 beings had been affected. Yet unlike Y'shtola and Thancred, there was no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there, and then not there. Now, recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in the sea of aether. Though this too is but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that, when communicating with Hydaelyn, we briefly leave our bodies behind. So let us consider the facts. 1. Hydaelyn interceded. 2. A third being was caught in Y'shtola's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3. Hydaelyn may have the capacity to summon the consciousness of gifted individuals to her side. You are implying, I take it, that Hydaelyn guided Minfilia into the compass of my magic, that she might summon her body and soul unto the ethereal sea? In which case, we must needs continue our search there. For a blessing, the means to do so already exists. I speak of the Anti-Tower, a Charlian construction conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I know not where its entrance lies, we need only ask its last custodian, a contrary old crone, who, for another blessing, refused to join the Exodus. Master Metoya was the keeper of the Anti-Tower? I had no idea. Then our course is clear. We must petition her aid once again. Alright, so we need to make our way down to Metoya once again. So as we make our way down there, let me just kind of go over some of the gear that I've gotten here. Pretty much all this is lore gear, with the exception of the pants that I picked up here. The Sky Pirates Gaskins of Fending. And then I also picked up some gloves as well. Both of those are item level 185 compared to the 230. Eventually I'm going to replace those as well. I just wanted to use them temporarily just so I could get my item level up. Just in case we have to go into a certain encounter today in the time that we have. I'll probably be going for about 2 hours today. There's actually a good chance we won't make it that far. But just in case we do, I'll be ready for it. In terms of what I'm going to be using my first scripture on, that is actually going to go into the other ring slot here, since I can't have more than one of the same ring on it at a time. So I'm going to grab the scripture-based fending ring at that time, once I do have enough scripture. And as you can see, I'm at 289 already, so I'm not that far away from that. And then once I get that, I'll also work to fill out the rest of the slots here. Really, I've only got 4 more sets of lore, 4 more lore items I need to pick up here, and then we'll be at 230. I might even be able to get away with just doing 3 of them, just because of how much of a boost the metal longsword, as well as the hook boots of fending, are going to give me, and that other ring here. But we'll see when the time comes. Alright, so we are almost into Metoya Swamp. I want to try to avoid this here if I can, so we'll head this way. And here is the entrance to Metoya's cave. Alright, let us speak to Metoya. Oh, what a surprise! Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? Ah, though it pains me to admit it, your words strike close to the mark. We humbly ask that you grant us entry to the Anti-Tower, that we might use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the Ethereal Sea. And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have the run of the place now. If that is no deterrent to you, then by all means. Is that all? I felt sure you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role? Hardly. The Forum foisted the title on me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Anti-Tower was sealed save one. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent sneaks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. Well, I can remove the wards right now. Will you be going or not? We will, Master Metoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Minfilia. We'll see about that. Prince can go. Take the magicless rogue too if you like. He's no use to me. The rest of you will stay and work. I'll hear no argument. Those are my terms. Oh, and I should be delighted to accompany you. Lead the way, Prince. Thancred, no. Your etheric flow has been compromised. Do not deny it. To venture into an environment so thick with aether, so close to the ethereal sea, would be to risk further impairment, or worse. But Minfilia could be in there, waiting for us. And you could die. And for what? If she is waiting beyond, Prince will find her. Trust in him. Have faith. Damn it all. Bring her back to us. Alright, let us make our way inside the Anti-Tower. And that was an instant pop for us. Alright, here we go. So as you can see, it is a tower that is effectively flipped upside down. Let's put on our shield oath, and let's get this going. Alright, we got a bunch of our froggy friends in here. Alright, first group down. Let's hop on this pad over here. As a tank, you definitely want to be rotating through the different enemies here. Of course, you also want to watch out for the AoEs that they're going to put on you. Alright, up to the next platform. I'm going to have myself a little knight's bread here. Just to boost my stats a little bit. Alright, we got some more popping in. Alright, the next path should open up once we take out these two. There we go. Let's check out this treasure coffer. Just some X potions. Alright, we have arrived at the first boss. This guy does a couple of unique things here. I'll kind of go through them as we're going through the fight here. Alright, so we got these bubbles in the air. And he is starting to sing. We want to get out of that. Alright, and now we got some ads coming in, and what we need to do is basically run away. As you can see, we've been turned into a frog here. Once the ads are down, the transformation ends. Alright, he hit me with a concussion, that's fine. I'm actually going to take a moment to build some enmity here, since that bard is actually catching up to me here pretty quickly. we go. Alright, let's finish off the boss. And down he goes. Okay, that is going to be for a monk, but we don't have one in here, so I'll go ahead and greet on it. Doesn't look like I got it. Alright. So as you can see, we got all these different doors and everything floating around in here. And we've also got some mimics. That's fine. Let's open up these the treasure coffer. Aiming, that's going to be more for dexterity classes. With any luck, the healer will be able to keep up with this since I pulled a second group on this one. Alright, we got more homunculi coming out. Alright, and since these should be the last two, I'm going to take this moment to build some magic points back. There we go. Let's grab these. Alright, and once again we're doing the same thing. Effectively a double pull in order to basically just speed things up a little bit here, since we're able to go kind of AoE heavy with this group. Alright, let me start building my magic points again. As you might be able to tell, I know this dungeon pretty well. It was one of the big ones I went after when I went to complete my anima weapon way back. Back in the day, it used to have quite a number of lore tomes associated with completion. I believe that was nerfed in patch 2.4. So it's not as viable as it used to be for gearing up. Aside from if you need scripture, which it'll give you, I believe, 3 times as many as you would get out of Aethochemical Research Facility. Alright, on to the second boss. Alright, so this guy is... he does a couple of things. He kind of has 2 phases. One phase, he's going to basically do some AoEs that effectively expand, along with that conal AoE there. Here we go. So basically, we need to take out these Stardust as quickly as we can. The longer they stay up, the more the AoE grows, and we need to take them out before they're at full strength and they cover the whole floor effectively. There we go. And now Ziggy is locking onto a specific target. Whoever gets targeted needs to hide behind the rocks. They basically have their attention for the time being. So that's why I went into Sword Oath for a brief moment here. Alright, back into Shield Oath. Alright, so now we got some ads coming in. We're gonna have to just kind of control those while the Stardust is being taken care of here. We can deal with them once the Stardust is done with. Alright, looks like that's it. Alright, so now he's taking aim at me, so I have to hide. Alright, one more time. Alright, one more round of this and he should be done for. Let's grab the gem cutters. As you can see, the platform can get pretty filled with the AoE there. And if you're just not quick enough, then the whole thing gets covered and you have no place to hide. Alright, down goes Ziggy. Alright, doesn't seem like we're really getting anything in here. That's fine. And as you can see, once again, we are inside the upside-down tower now, so we are quite literally walking on the ceiling. Chandeliers over here, and the stairs up there. And we got these wind-up Vikings here, as well as wind-up Magus. I'm just gonna grab them and run. I want to get the next group going as well here. Pop our big shielding. As well as one more just to make sure we're safe. That should give us a total of 50 defense there. Or no, 60 actually. Almost done here. Alright, moving on. Same thing once again. I'm actually stopping short of getting the next group going here. At least I think you have to walk a little further. It has been a number of months since I've come in here, so it is possible they may come down as this fight goes on. Alright, 2 left. Okay, more of them are popping down. Oh hey, look at that! We've actually got an upgrade here. Let's go ahead and knead on that. Alright, there are the other centaur. I'm actually out of magic points here. The healer is definitely doing a great job keeping me up. Alright, there we go. Let's put on that new ring. Oh. Here comes the next boss. Your Calcabrina, adorable dolls, terrible dolls, yip ho ho! Alright, so, that boss is actually a direct reference to a boss from Final Fantasy IV. Why is my thing not popping up now? Alright, let's do it this way then. Alright, there we go. Let's do a quick sort. And put that back on. There we go. Alright. Let's get this going. Alright, these guys all do basically a bunch of AoEs at the start. And we just simply have to take them out. I just realized I actually didn't get the ring yet. Somebody's not paying attention. Anyway, we'll have that be before the end of this here. Alright, the dolls begin to gather, and here is Calcabrina. They basically merge together when the time comes. Alright, there's the ring. Alright, they're gonna use knockout on me, so I'm using a defensive cooldown. And now they're gonna start to brace here. Everybody needs to get in front in order to do damage. Alright, now she uses an ability called Dollhouse. And that basically changes 2 party members into dolls. And you need to defeat them. And that frees your party members. All the while, Calcabrina is effectively acting like XT002 from... I think it was Ulduar in World of Warcraft, with the tympanic tantrum. She's also using that eye there. Basically, that just indicates where she's going to use that eye beam towards. She's bracing once again. Alright, I'm in the dollhouse now. And back onto her. And somebody's using the level 2 limit break. Good idea. Down she goes. Alright, let's take a look at what we got for gear. Looks like that's for a Dragoon there. Oh, everybody left already. Okay, anyway, let us take care of our gear now here. And we have to fix that once again. Alright, so we're now at 211 for our gear. And the question is, where is Minfilia?
Here. Through time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst. We are the word of the Mother. We, who were once called Minfilia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Hydaelyn, guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we had lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think. Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard. Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining. Seven times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Ascians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final. The crystal's power is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
Thank the 12.
Did you find her? Did you find Minfilia?
She has joined with Hydaelyn.
The word of the mother. I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Minfilia. And if Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together.
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the scions, boy.
The scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait! No, this is all wrong.
Alright, let's speak to Alpha No. She's not coming back, is she? She did what she thought was best. I know that, I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice, the loss. I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially Philomin. I will brief Tataru on what we have learned, as well as Urianger. He may have insight into what the word told us. As for you, Prince, after all you have done, I would say you have earned a rest. But speaking of well-earned rewards, we received a missive from Sir Emmerich while you were away. It would seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort, and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit. Alright, so then in that case, let us make our way back to Ishgard. And to the Forgotten Knight. Alright, let's speak to this guy and let's head inside.
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation. Good, good. You of all people should be present. When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event, your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire. But if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change. Tis nothing. Tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. 'Twould not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all. Oh, and one more thing. A drink! We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
Alright, so let us make our way over to Falcon's Nest then. There's Lucia. The Lord Commander said that you would come, Prince. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The Masons labor day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Emmerich wanted a symbol which would endure long after the conference is concluded. I think he will be pleased with the result. 'Twas not my war, but I made it mine, and to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? His certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I am rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go rest. I will not keep you. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend this ceremony, you may meet Lords Artoira and Manelaine, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you. Now, if you would excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Alright, so let's speak to Redwald, actually. I'm glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Master Brightstar. And fear not, I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over their encampment. The last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravanian ambassador to a peace conference. Alright, so we're probably going to have to deal with that situation. Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Emmerich was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter, too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things, and he'll do it, by the Fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand, we've all got a healthy fear for being bathed in dragonfire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so we're hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. Alright, and there's our Toirel. How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault. If you had told me that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make that fantasy a reality. Ha! And here I am, laboring to make it so. Lord Artoiro, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Javanian bound for Falcon's Nest. Fury take me, they would defy Sir Emmerich's commands if they dare attack Vidofnir. It will not come to that, but to see that it does not, we must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us were a lord of House Fortamps present. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Emmanuel while I am away? As you know, he has ever been impulsive, changeable child, but recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty, a simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. Alright, let us speak to Emmanuel then. I'm rather busy at the moment, old boy, guarding this tavern as it were. Oh, I see now. Artoiro thought it might be that I might derelict my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But since you are here, mayhap I can put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers, yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves, oh no. Yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the roaming packs. Your map, if I may. Right there. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave it to you, old boy. Come, Honorat. I must return to my rounds. Oh dear. Do be careful, my lord. Alright, so let's make our way over to where those wolves are then. Alright, and as we are making our way over there, I am also going to turn back on the mount music at this point here. Since we've now heard everything in terms of what Heavensward has to offer. Let's see, looks like one group is up here. There's the marker we're looking for. There we go. I was waiting for them to come near me so I wouldn't accidentally hit that ice sprite over there. Well, apparently we've got somebody trying to help out with the quest here. No need for that, though. Let's see, the next group is going to be over here to the northeast. All the way over there, it looks like. Alright, easily taken out. Let's make our way back over to Falcon's Nest. PrinceBrightstar, Wolf's Bane. It pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds, and that all is well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made that arsonist confess. Clever, that. Thancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one. If you hurry, he might still be there. Alright, back out we go. Looks like that one is kind of far out. Very close to the river, in fact. Looks like what we're needing is going to be up here. Alright, so we can't jump up that, apparently. Actually, it should be a little bit lower than this here. Yeah, we're going to have to drop down. There's Thancred. Fancy meeting you here, Prince. 'Twas fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest, then, and see what other thrilling tasks he may have for us. Alright, back to Falcon's Nest. And it looks like a Manolane has returned. And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes if I ever saw them. Comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests. On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is not left to do but to enjoy our well-earned respite. Alright, let's see what we have here. Max Potion or Max Ether. I'm gonna go for the Max Potion. Oh, and this should, of course, go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Our Toyrell wouldn't understand. Ah, that's right, it was our Toyrell that left, actually. Right then, the first floor of those barracks have been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? For once, a suggestion with which I agree. Go on ahead, Prince. I will join you anon.
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks. Freed food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with them.
Poison.
You were right, my friend. You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I'd say you've earned it. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs.
This was never your fight.
My son. They told me he walks in Alone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future. My flesh and blood. My heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness. Cowards, a lot of them.
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do. Makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen.
Oh?
They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping. Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Yes, my lord.
That's not good. They just made a martyr out of her.
See? See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
What have you done?
I only did as you ordered, my lord.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
I dare say that could not have played out any worse, given that the first commander and Lord Artoyrel are not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with a messenger who said that they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Madeleine has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls on us to ensure that order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. Looks like there's actually a hunt up. But that's kind of far, and I don't have the ability to fly. It'll probably be gone by the time we get there. My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The Churigons tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything, and for what? They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough, that their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them, and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I even can. I had heard the rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I say him and Sir Emmerich have their bloody change, and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. Alright, let us catch up with Thancred over here. Well, what say you? So the violence has passed, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of the young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Lord Artoyrel and the first commander should have returned by now. To the tavern, then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Madeleine, and I somehow doubt that he has moved an ilm since we last saw him. Hey Dulim, I am on the Sargatanis server, but my main when we get over to Stormblood is actually on Balmung. My apologies, Prince. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There will be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we know? According to initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman who Lord Manalain ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive, others resisted and were struck down. Still others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being at least. The Churagans are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it is like that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. Well, if the mood of the hamlet is any indication, theirs have been the more fruitful labors. In the wake of the protest, the people seem disillusioned. You spoke with them, then. I see. Sir Emmerich placed his trust in me. It would be difficult to explain what has happened here. Remember how far we have come, First Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and we will do so again. If we can but find a means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass in the past. We must pray that you are right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference, pending Sir Emmerich's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Prince, will you deliver my report to the Lord Commander in my stead? Get up, Emmanuel. You're going with him. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions, in person. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come, Honorat. Your manservant is not here. In fact, I have not seen him for some time. Honorat? Honorat! I could have sworn he was... Alright, so we need to find where Honorat is. I'm not seeing anything out here. Mayhap they are back up here. Ah, there they are. But they are on the ground, so apparently they need help.
No! What have they done to you? Onowa! Onowa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost.
But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Onua?
Calm yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Chirurgeon without delay.
Oh, we were so close! Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing! And still it falls to pieces! Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
Alright, let us catch up with Thancred. Way to deck the guy! I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. He was becoming hysterical. I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses, to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is naught to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this. I know this. But he... I have no desire to wait for the Lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend to in Ishgard. Alright, let us make our way back to Ishgard then. Over to the Forgotten Knight. And let us make our way inside. Word of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you, Prince. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard the tale. 'Tis rumored that my youngest lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. What exactly came to pass? I see. So that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He has furthered the cause of those misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply on the war and the vengeance it begets, only for that too to be taken away. Is it any wonder that they were left bereft? For what was this sacrifice? Have we not to show for our suffering? I thought peace a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmont, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our own peril. To hold on to the past without being beholden to it, aye, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers without glorying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur other disillusioned souls to retrace them. But as you say, we dare not revel in past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, unambiguous enemy, and an undeniably righteous cause. 'Tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long serve to unite us. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear. Yet we are not without options. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Eorzean Alliance for joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and the Watch to take the field as allies. A unified Ishgardian force filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nations' finest. Hosted by Ishgard, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, a victory under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry that we are as strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true. But if we should be defeated, though even to hold our own against the cream of the three nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well, you may count on my support, for what little it is worth. However, I have a request. I would have my son Amanalang take part in the grand melee. By his deeds has he brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. If that is his desire, then it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose. Prince, would you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once and begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough, making every effort to avoid me. Alright, let's speak with Thancred. So that is their solution. A grand melee to unite the people. And what part would they have you play in this affair? I wonder. You, whom they have taken into their confidence, upon whom they have come so heavily to rely. And will you oblige them when their proposition is made? Will you stand for Ishgard once more? I will stand for my friends and comrades, not a nation. A poor choice of words. For friends tried and true, then. The living and the lost. So, for this grand melee of his, Sir Emmerich wishes to field a force comprising both his Temple Knights and Hilda's Watch, yes? I can only imagine what she will have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go and see for myself. Alright, let us speak with Lucia. Oh, actually, she's right over here. Well met, Prince. Have you spoken with Sir Emmerich? I was aware of the Alliance's request, so Sir Emmerich would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses. It is not that I doubt the efficacy of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Nevertheless, he has not once given me reason to doubt his intentions, and these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch... Did he now? How considerate of Master Thancred to seek out our young watch commander of his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda. I would have her best men, not her most dispensable. Alright, so Hilda should be down here. That's not Hilda. Thancred's been telling me all about Sir Emmerich's grand soirée. Seems we're expected to join in. It's nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows what he's doing, because we ain't dressed to dance with professional bleeding soldiers. Well, well, seems the first commander's gone and hand-picked her guests. Can't say I disagree with her choices, though. She's got a good eye. Will you be fighting too? Reckon it'd inspire the lads if you were. Might take their minds off getting their hides tanned and all. Think about it, eh? I hate to ask, but you haven't seen our favorite lordling, have you? I thought not. On the assumption that he is not to be found in his father's loving embrace, I suggest we split up and look for him. I will search Foundation, and you the pillars. Alright, let us make our way up to the pillars then. Alright. So let's see where they are. Oh, actually they are marked over in the Jeweled Crozier. There they are. I carried Honora to the manor. Our best chirurgeons are tending to him as we speak. He has yet to wake, but surely he will. So Father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs. My beloved family, always making my decisions for me. No, it's not like that. It's just... Oh, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You are free to be the man you want to be. Whereas I am a son of House Fortamps. Don't you see? My future was determined before I was born. What I could and could not do. Right or wrong, that was the way of it. Until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rubble, searching for a purpose, for a place. All around me, brave men and women rise to the occasion. With faith and conviction, they dedicate themselves to their causes. But not I. I was terrified of making the wrong choice, which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that, take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I had convinced myself I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. When I saw Honor, I wanted to scream, wanted someone to blame, but in the end there was only me. Only me. So you see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept Father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I will go to Sir Emmerich, and I will make my own decision. Alright, let us make our way back over to there. And let's head inside once more. The Lord Commander is not to be disturbed. May I ask what matter demands his personal attention? I see. Very well. You may enter.
Lord Commander, if I may? I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalain. I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do. Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Emmanuel de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
Who am I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You'll take charge of the Ishgardian forces?
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emeric leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. There is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more. An adventurer beholden to none who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory. A warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side. I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend, one more time?
Indeed.
Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages, a celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
Alright, and so we will be joining this grand melee on the next episode. Thank you for joining me today. This is Prince Brightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.